What's up, guys? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, February 14th, 2019, aka Valentine's Day. I'm Tim Geddes, joined by Cheeks, Double D Doherty, aka Mike Doherty. How you doing?
What's up, players? I'm good. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. It's good to have you back here.
It's been too long. Too long. You've had me back too many times.
Yeah, I know.
Some might say.
Some might say. There's different sides to every story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily each and every weekday right here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. We get together to talk about all the video game news of the day. Wow, let me tell you what. Today, it's a doozy. We got a whole lot of good stuff for you guys. You can watch the show live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames every weekday at 10 a.m. Or if you want to watch later, you can go to youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Or if you just want to listen, you can search for us on podcast services around the globe. Just search for Kinda Funny Games Daily. Please like us. Please rate us highly. Please leave your reviews. Leave your thumbs up. Leave whatever system it is.
Hit that notification bell.
Slam that button. Slam the bell. Ring that everything. Do all the stuff. To be a part of the show, you can head to patreon.com/kindafunnygames, where bronze members or above get to write in, and silver members or above get the show ad-free. Today, we are talking about all of the awesome Nintendo Direct news from yesterday, the DICE Awards winners, and Crackdown 3 and some Far Cry New Dawn reviews. We'll see how things went. Was it good? You'll have to wait and find out. Some housekeeping for you. Don't forget, the Kinda Funny World Tour continues this Sunday. We're in San Francisco at the Triple Voodoo Brewery at 3 p.m. Then we're going to Kansas City on March 30th and New York on April 6th. You can get the full rundown of all of that on kindafunny.com/events. Remember, after that, we're going to Vancouver and then eventually London. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's my Austin Powers. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Tom Bach, TJ Meehan, Joe Beezer, Trevor Starkey, Muhammad, and of course, Blackjack. Today,
Blackjack.
We're brought to you by Hims, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We got 5 news stories today.
Oh, Baker's dozen!
Let's start it off big. Nintendo had one of its biggest directs of all time. Would you agree?
Hot damn. So I watched that thing last night just to catch up on all the news. It's something that they always talk about with press conferences. There's something in there for everybody. And I felt like that was
the goal with press conferences.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Very rarely is I feel like that hit.
Yeah, but no, it was phenomenal. I mean, there was something in there for everybody. Tetris 99. Hot damn.
Hot fire.
It's so fucking good. I stayed up way too late playing that last night. But yes, something in there for everybody. The remake of Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I mean, really good stuff.
My thing is, not only was there a little something for everyone there, I feel like this was just such a quality press conference, whatever you want to call it, way to disseminate information. Because when you look at it, it just kept going. I love how they were like, here's the headlines. We're going to move through them quickly. Here's a couple things we're going to focus on. Oh, here's more headlines. Here's the thing we're going to focus on. Here's more headlines. Like there was so much content in this, and most of it new. Most of it new information. Most of it entirely brand new games that we didn't know were coming, which again adds up to an amazing 2019 lineup for the Switch with all the games that weren't talked about. Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing, Pokemon Gen 8. But we know that those are all coming as well. Let's go bit by bit through this thing.
I think that's the biggest thing on Nintendo's strategy is they just kind of drop it and they don't care. They do it like a day before, like, hey, we're doing a direct. Like, if you don't show up, we're still going to be doing it, and we're going to have stuff, and they show what's coming out in the next few months, and then they don't show anything beyond that, which I think is a really smart strategy.
And yeah, I feel like that's especially true in the last, like since Switch launched, really. Yeah. And I feel like Metroid Prime is the time that really bit them in the ass, where they announced 4, they broke their own rule. They usually like to stick to that, especially recently. If we announce it, it's coming out within the calendar year, right? Or at least within a year time frame.
Exactly.
And Metroid Prime, they made that mistake. They apologized. They let everyone know what was going on. But I feel like you could even see it in them. They're embarrassed about those mistakes because having to delay Fire Emblem again, even if it is just by a couple months, like they didn't want to have to do that. But they did it. They were transparent about it, and I thought they explained it all very well. Started it off huge. Super Mario Maker 2. We all knew it
damn.
was gonna come at some point, but there was the question of will it be a port and when is it really gonna come out? I didn't expect to see it this soon. Releasing June this year.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see it because New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe just came out less than a month ago. So for them to release two 2D Mario platformers, and I understand that they're different, but so close together, interesting move on their part. I think June is a good release date for that type of game. And also this game is going to be right at home on the Switch. The controls are going to be interesting, but I like how they pretty much that trailer to me was textbook perfection for a game like this, where it's just like every question people had was answered. Are there slopes? Yes. Is it multiplayer? There's hints of it everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Is there a new style or is it just the original 4? There's Super Mario 3D World, which hints that there is probably more different worlds.
Yeah.
Is it a sequel? Boom, here's the 2. When's it coming out? June 2019. It's like that was just such a great way to start the direct off with just being like, look, we're confident in our plan right now and we really do know what we're doing.
They hit all, like you said, they hit all the key points, and it's cool to see that this year is going to be a big year for the resurgence of play, create, share. You know, you have that, you have Dreams coming out supposedly this year. So it's cool to see that creativity being sparked in people again, where it's like we haven't seen something like this since Little Big Planet, essentially.
Yeah, and Mario Maker, but yeah,
and now they do it
times.
so much better, and we're so far along, and I just can't wait to be on the train, creating my own levels, downloading the other levels, playing. Like, I'm just so excited for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and again, right at home on Switch,
perfect
especially
for portable.
like with Mario Maker being the success that it was on the Wii U, a failing console. It's going to be such a massive hit on the Switch, a console again people want to like. Couple interesting things that you could take away from the trailer that weren't confirmed, but Mario Maker multiplayer looks like it's going to be a thing. Luigi being on the box art kind of hints at that. On top of that, you can see in the background there's multiple playable characters. Will they be able to be played at the same time? We'll have to see. But you see Toadette, you see Luigi, you see like them in different outfits and stuff. So you gotta imagine they'll be playable and hopefully multiplayer as well. Custom flag points are also going to be a thing, which makes it seem like you can have hidden exits in levels, which is really cool. And vehicles, which seems like the weirdest thing. There's one piece of key art that is a Koopa Troopa without his shell in this little green car. So I think they're about to get really weird in the way that we kind of saw last Mario Maker with the amiibos and like some of the wackier designs. Yeah,
well, they can't just do the same thing again, right? So I guess this is their way of really adding that spice, adding that flavor, adding something new to the game to keep, so it doesn't just feel like another port, right? Because I feel like the Switch has a good balance of that right now, of like ports and then new stuff, ports and then new stuff, whereas Wii U is like solely ports and then new stuff came way later. So I think they're doing
Wii U wasn't ports. I think that was a big problem. Wii U didn't have any ports. It didn't have any games.
The big launch of like the ports, but yeah, like we got Mass Effect 3.
Oh,
right?
like third-party ports.
Yeah,
you're right.
Third party,
Okay, that's right. So we started with Mario Maker 2. We ended the whole thing with Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, a full remake of the Game Boy game that came out in 1993. I can't believe that this is real as a Switch game.
Yeah.
For a long time, I predicted this was going to happen, but as a 3DS game, this is such a strong message to me of, hey, we are moving on to the Switch. Every single game talked about in this Direct was for the Switch, and every single game is coming in 2019. They stressed that, and I think that again, super important messaging of why people should believe in this console's future, especially coming off of all the financial reports that we've been getting over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, Link's Awakening, man. Have you ever played it?
No, I haven't. I'm interested because I'm not a big Zelda fan. Again, this got me interested, which is crazy for me because again, not as a big Zelda fan. I played Breath of the Wild. I loved it. So this is a good way to get someone like me into the franchise beyond Breath of the Wild, the more classic like top-down like Zelda game, which I'm excited for. The art looked amazing, and then we got the screenshots here of like,
we'll pull those up in a second.
Okay,
the thing that I love so much about this is it feels like it confirms so many things that I wanted the Switch to be. Well, first off, the logo for it is the Breath of the Wild look for the Legend of Zelda logo. I'm like, I love that they're sticking with that. The visual style of this game, it's weird that I'm seeing on the internet that it's kind of split of whether people like it or not. I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I
loved
think
it.
that it totally gets the vibe and the feel of the original Link's Awakening, but like translates it into what a modern game can look like. In the same way that I feel like Breath of the Wild really did a good job of like taking that core vibe and feel of what the original Legend of Zelda wanted to look like in its imagination.
Yeah.
But I also think it's important to note that this is proof that the Nintendo Switch is going to be home to what were traditionally 3DS games. The 2D Zeldas are also going to be here along with the 3D Zeldas. The 2D Marios are also going to be here with the 3D Marios. And it's like, that's a really cool concept when you start thinking about the Nintendo IP library as not every single franchise, a lot of the franchises having kind of spin-off points that aren't spin-off titles. It's just like you hit a fork in the road and it becomes two franchises within a franchise. Kev, can you pull this up real quick?
And it's interesting too, because it's one of those things where it's this is the logical step, right? Is the split away from the 3DS. Do you think how much longer do you think we have with the 3DS before they actually stop manufacturing or even publishing games for it?
We got Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn or whatever it is coming out this month, I think. I think it's the end of this month, maybe early next month. I feel like that's a perfect example of where we're at with the 3DS. I honestly think that's going to be one of the first, the last like Nintendo first party big titles, and we're at the point that that's a big title, right?
Exactly.
We saw Luigi's Mansion last year, but they're really kind of like just like swan songing that thing out. But yeah, Kev, can you bring this up real quick? So someone did what's the website for this? Tiny Cartridge did this super awesome graphics comparison of different scenes that we saw in the trailers side by side. And man, it's just so cool. Link's Awakening is such a special game because it was the first Zelda on the Game Boy, and with that became a lot of limitations where obviously you have the square screen, so you don't have as much real estate for Link to move around, so it had to be less action focused. And less of him, being able to just swing the sword and focus on attacking. And it was much more puzzle based about looking at each screen and kind of working through how to get to the next screen. But I love that with the Switch, with the widescreen, with everything, you're going to be able to see more of the world. And a lot of the cumbersome issues that came with the Game Boy only having the two buttons and the D-pad are going to be solved with this. Like, in my opinion, Link's Awakening biggest issue was the field of view was too small and having to change between items was cumbersome.
Yeah.
And that's all going to be solved here in a game that looks like it just has so much charm. I think, Kevin, you're going to love it.
Why are there Goombas?
Because this is early in the days where it's just like we have the art assets, let's put it in. And also there's always been a thing between Mario and Zelda where certain enemies and things are in it. There's the Goombas, there's the Chain Chomps.
I'm interested to see how this is going to translate, and it's the one thing where we're in that the remaster era, right? Where you really have to get that balance of nostalgia and paying homage to like the original, and then fixing what was broken with the original. So I am really interested to see how that translates to the Switch and what the Switch will actually add to the game. I'm excited because I think a lot of the remasters that we're seeing coming out are actually better than the original games.
Me too.
So I'm stoked for this.
And on top of that, one of the most iconic moments of Legend of Zelda Link Awakening was the opening cinematic, which on Game Boy felt epic at the time on the Link's Awakening Deluxe that came out on Game Boy Color. And for them to remake that as a full anime take, like cartoon looking take, but still being faithful to the style. Oh my God, that was such a cool moment.
Yeah,
and again, Nintendo are masters of the hype. Like they knew that there was that reveal where there was the water and people were going to be like, wait a minute, is this what we think it is? And then when you see the boat, you're like, oh my God.
Well, and they kept saying too, like, wait till the end, wait till the end. Like throughout the whole thing, they're like,
which
wait,
was weird.
Wait till the end.
Like it's a direct. It's not like it's like people. I don't know.
It's not like an hour. It's 30 minutes long.
Exactly. Next up, Astral Chain is a new action game from Platinum Games, directed by Takahashi Tara, known for his work as the game designer on Nier Automata, and supervised by Hideki Kamiya, creator of the Bayonetta series. As part of a police special forces unit in a multicultural futuristic city, players work together with a special living weapon, the Legion, in a synergetic action system of battle and exploration. More details will be revealed in the future. Astral Chain launches exclusively for Switch on August 30th. This game looked awesome.
Yeah.
This is pure action, pure platinum, what you'd expect for them. But another platinum exclusive on Switch that looks to be a super high quality. Them getting those names attached and putting those names first and foremost when announcing this project on a project that looked rad. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, and again, it's going back to Nintendo doing something where it's something I'm not too interested in, making me interested in. And if that's happening to me, that's happening to a lot of people. Like you said, it looks gorgeous, it looks fun, it looks fast paced, and Platinum again nailing it. Like they're one of the most underrated developers, I'd say.
Absolutely nailing it, and I feel the big question for me is Bayonetta 3. I thought it was weird that we haven't heard about that. It was announced back in the Game Awards 2 years ago, and they announced that Bayonetta 1 and 2 are going to be released, and they just kind of came out immediately. And then it's been a long time without hearing about Bayo 3. And I wonder what the reasoning is for that, especially for them to announce another game that looks great with a release date, right? When we haven't even seen anything from Bayonetta besides a concept logo, essentially. And I wonder if it has anything to do with Devil May Cry. Like, I wonder if they want to let Devil May Cry 5 come out, do its thing, and not get buried, even though they're on different systems.
When we see Bayonetta 3 again, is it going to be one of those things where it's out in 4 months? It's out like I mean, they have been doing.
It has to be at this point,
so
right?
Could it be possible that we see that like summerish, like the summerish direct for fall?
Well, we're definitely getting a direct at E3. And you got to imagine that at that direct, we get release dates, or at the very least release months for Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion,
and
Bayonetta, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they also announced Metroid Prime Trilogy at that, but I could see them pushing that off. I'm still convinced Metroid Prime Trilogy exists on the Switch.
It's got to be happening.
And is done.
Yeah.
I think that it's ready to go and was going to come out already when Prime 4 was originally planned, in my mind, for the end of this year. But now that it's pushed back so long, I can see them be like, we got to hold off on the trilogy for a while.
It's smart. It's again, Masters of Hype. Building that hype.
Something interesting I want to bring up here is Doug Bowser, the Nintendo of America's Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Yes, that's his real name.
Yeah, I was about to say that's his actual name.
He says every game covered in this Nintendo Direct is slated for launch on the Nintendo Switch this year. So the one question I have is, does that include Bayonetta? Because they talked about Bayonetta in this. They did say it's going to need a bit more time, but for him to say every game covered, was that game covered? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below.
I think we'll see it. I honestly think we'll see it by the end of the year.
I don't know if that's too many action games. Like, if we know Astral Chain is August 30th, that doesn't give too many months after that for Bayonetta in a way that, not that these games all compete with each other, but are you going to put Bayonetta up against a game with Luigi in the title or a game with Pokemon in the title, you know?
That's the thing, though. I feel like no matter when they launch it, they're going to be putting it up against something, right? Because I feel like they have their 2020 slated, they have their 2021 kind of figured out in terms of what they want to drop there. I feel like they're just firing on all cylinders. I think every year we're going to be getting a great drop of games. So I feel like no matter what year you drop it in, you're going to be dropping it against something.
Yeah, but so what's interesting there is when the Switch first launched, the year one, with rare exception, I think May and August were the only ones this wasn't true. Every month had a big marquee title that Nintendo was pushing. And even the months I just mentioned had something, but May was like the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection or something, or it was like, this is not what we're talking about. Whereas last year, there was kind of a drought for a while.
Yeah.
And there was huge games, Pokemon Let's Go and Smash Brothers. But there was a drought in terms of like big Nintendo properties coming out consistently throughout the year. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm loving that 2019 went from what the fuck do they have to, oh shit, they have a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, Fire Emblem Three Houses got delayed to July 26th out of its original spring release date. It looked better this time than I've seen it so far. I'm still not super sold on a lot of the gameplay that isn't the core Fire Emblem gameplay that we've known for so long. I love the actual strategy RPG thing going on. Less so the whole actual RPG of walking around and talking to people and stuff, but we'll see. I'll reserve my judgment for when it comes out.
Good. Hopefully we get more Fire Emblem DLC characters in Smash.
Smash
God
Brothers,
damn
dude.
it.
Let's go. Box Boy and Box Girl announced coming to Nintendo eShop on April 26th. Tetris 99 coming out of nowhere. A Tetris battle royale, essentially.
Damn.
99 players drop into a Tetris field.
So
Kevin, how you been feeling?
Fucking good. God, it's so much fun. I'm not used to playing like Tetris Attack with someone else where like they're adding lines to my stuff. So there's some still like I need to tweak my way of playing. But it's so much fun. It seems like it's super fast too. Every time I go to load a game, it fills up the 99 immediately. Oh my God, it's so good.
Free to download software if you are a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber. They dropped it yesterday when they announced it. Super great marketing. That's how you push online subscriptions. And again, Nintendo's online. The online itself sucks. But in my opinion, $20 a year to get this, you're sure to get much more in the future. Plus the NES games that now there's over 20 of them. I think it's totally worth it. I wish it was better. I wish there was more services there. But
it's
$20
crazy
is nothing.
that
And also,
it's
it's less than $20 because we have the family plan, and it brings it down to like dollars each of us.
Yeah.
You know?
The craziest thing is like, it's like, here's a full game that works. It's just God, thank
And
you.
it's Tetris.
Yeah.
And it's good Tetris. And I actually bought the online last night to play this game because there was no reason for me. I
I'm
had no
sure a
interest.
ton of people did.
Yeah, and I bought it just for this game. And god damn, what a good twist on a battle royale game. keeping yeah, it sounds so dumb. It sounds like the dumbest thing that you can come up with. Tetris battle royale, but it works, and it works so well, and especially when you get to like the top 20, right, and it starts getting fast, right, it starts getting really fast, it's super hectic. You see things flying all across the screen. So I love it. I'm in love with this game. Really unique take, and I think we're gonna start seeing more fresh takes on battle royales because you can't and that's the thing, it's one of those things where it's like I would say that too, but at the same time, we wouldn't have gotten this without that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing. Like, Nintendo saw something that's blowing up and working. Battle royales, people fucking love them, and redid it in a way that's just like, it's so simple,
It's so Nintendo,
and it's so, but it's so much fun.
Yeah. And again, Nintendo's online service we were talking about, it's like there was a lot of hints at what's to come in this direct. Between that with Mario Maker, there's gonna be so much online stuff going on there where it's like it's starting to be a bit more worth it. Next up, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night was shown off a bit. It's coming to Switch. Mortal Kombat 11, April 23rd. We already knew that. Yoshi's Crafted World, we already knew that coming March 29th, but the demo came out yesterday.
Did you play the demo?
I did not play the demo.
I played the demo. It's fun. It's like
I have played the game. I can't talk about it yet.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah, I'm in a weird place.
Yeah.
But what did you think about the demo?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, games like that for some reason really appeal to me. Just like the kiddie kind of like puzzle platform, like.
It's because you're 12 years old.
I know, that's because I look 11 years old. But no, it was exactly what you expect of a Yoshi game. I wouldn't say it's anything like super spectacular, but a fun Switch game. Again, bite size, perfect on the Switch.
And then Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is getting an update and special episode DLC. On March 14th, new paid DLC arrives that adds 18 new challenges to the game, including 5 new courses and new shiny crowns, which can be obtained in each course. New players can get the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker game together with the updates and all the new special stuff in a digital bundle available for purchase beginning February 13th. After downloading a free Nintendo Switch version update for the game that is available starting today, all courses in the game will support a new 2-player co-op mode featuring a second Toad to explore simultaneously with a friend. I just love that a game that's this old, especially a port, is getting new content, new DLC, new substantial modes like a co-op. Gives me hope for Mario Odyssey one day just being like, here's some new DLC. Worlds, or Mario Kart, here's new Grand
that's some
Prix.
Nintendo shit to do. So
I hope.
Here's like a 3-year-old game. Let's drop some DLC for it.
Then Super Smash Bros. Ultimate update, kind of lame overall. They announced that 3.0 is coming. They again reiterated that Snake, Simon, Squirtle, Pokemon Trainer, and Ivysaur are getting Amiibo in 2019. They showed off parts of the character model of Joker, and pretty much it was definitely a please be excited. The biggest news coming from this is Joker will be released before April at some point, so that's exciting. And also that the 3.0 update is going to be more expansive than the 2.0 one, and there was a lot of screenshots with big question marks and things were blurred out, to me hinting at modes potentially like stage builder or home run contest or break the targets that didn't make ultimate for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But if we want to get crazy and lofty, what if it's echo characters? What if it, you know what I mean? Like we'll see.
It kind of an empty announcement though. Like you said, it is very much like a please be excited. It's like, here's some stuff that you knew about. And then
Again,
here's some stuff you don't know about that we're not going to tell you.
It is weird, but at the same time, it's like it moved so quickly and it was just one announcement. If this direct focused on that, I feel like that would have been an issue. Them just mentioning it to me just says, hey, we're continuing to support this game that is a massive success. The fastest selling console exclusive game in Nintendo history.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Then kind of a big surprise to me, Hellblade's Newest Sacrifice coming in spring to Nintendo Switch. Then Daemon X Machina coming out. We saw that was debuted last E3. Mech game looks super cool. There's a demo that you can play now. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order was shown. We saw a bit more of the gameplay of it all. Still doesn't look great. I feel like this is going to be one of those weird games that like everyone looks at it's like this is a shitty mobile game. Then when it comes out, it's like, oh, this is actually really fun.
Yeah.
It fits in the whole Ultimate Alliance vibe and stuff. It's like, I guess this is one of those things where I feel like not too many people are like, that's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what all the A games are, right? That mid-tier games. It's not necessarily something wants, but it's a pretty good game. It's a fun game, and yeah, you're right. It does like the frame rates were the frame was dropping, the frame rates were dropping during the trailer. So it looked a little choppy on the gameplay side. I'm excited for it. It's just Marvel, especially the way that they're doing games. I don't think it's going to be anything short of good. But I don't think it's going to be like some game of the year ass shit. Yeah,
I'm excited for it though. I like the focus on the 4-player multiplayer and all that stuff. So looks cool. Next up, Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. It was talked about for way too long. I don't understand the choice there, except for they're gearing up American audiences to be like, hey, the next DLC character in Smash is a Dragon Quest character.
Yeah.
Which I think is all but guaranteed at this point. They also talked about Dragon Quest Builders 2 launching on July 12th on the Nintendo Switch. But here's a question I had for people. Kevin, can you please bring this up? This logo here. Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. That's the name of it. How does that logo's placement of the S in any way explain that? Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition.
Hey,
Square going square. Square going
it's
square.
A great name. Name of the year.
Next up, name of the year.
I feel like putting the S here would have been a more intelligent choice.
Yeah. You think graphic designers would think this?
Forget
thing,
everything.
Hey,
Forget everything you know. Aninaki was announced from the makers of Lost Sphere and wow, I'm blanking on the other one. What was the first one?
Looking at the wrong guy.
The JRPG that was in the style of Chrono Trigger. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sorry. can't help you.
Yeah,
here.
Lost Sphere was the one that came out on Switch last year, and then wow, they don't even mention it in Nintendo's thing. These motherfuckers. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Someone's gonna tell me you're wrong later, and I'm gonna feel like a dumb idiot. But that's coming out, and they've kind of on Nintendo Switch this summer. They've kind of just been pumping those things out in the last couple of years, like old school, very traditional JRPGs. This one looks a lot different. This is less of the traditional top-down 2D look, and this is way more like 3D. Has a much more visual flair to it. Looks cool.
Yeah, again, another one of those things where, not too into it, but somebody's into it, and that's what matters, right? So, again, JRPGs has never been a big thing for me.
Give me
personally.
1 second. I need to figure this out.
No, you're good.
It's really, really bothering me. Tokyo RPG Factory made it. Yeah, I know that. I Am Setsuna. That's what it freaking was. I was getting caught up in my head because I was thinking of Senua's Sacrifice. I'm like, it's not that. I Am Setsuna. Yes. Cool. Thank you.
Good. You
Where
feel
we
good?
at?
Get
Yeah,
that
I
off
feel
your
real
chest?
good. I feel real good. Starlink Battle for Atlas, we saw a bit more. They're really doubling down into the Star Fox stuff. The spring update launches in April on Nintendo Switch. There's a whole storyline with Star Wolves, like the bad guys there. You get to play as Peppy, Falco, and Slippy to help Fox take them down. The new update includes starship races, faction missions, and more. The races thing was the most interesting thing to me. There's a big question now. There was all those rumors of Star Fox Grand Prix being made by Retro. Is it canceled? Now the question is it real? Was it ever real? Was whoever started that rumor, did it come from seeing footage of this? I don't know. We'll have to see. I still believe it's real. I very much believe it's real.
I don't think it is.
I think it is, man.
I think that's exactly what you said. Someone saw this and then just connected the two.
I don't think so. I don't
that
think
was a
so.
surprise. I was surprised that we got anything from this.
Yeah, but especially them doubling down on it. Again, I feel like this is Nintendo just kind of being like, look, we have our first party stuff. We're working a lot with third parties.
We're here to
you
support
see this with Mortal Kombat X or 11 and all that. But then there also is the side of like, look, let's have some third party. Let's give third parties our characters, let them have fun with them, and make them feel like Nintendo games for games that we're not going to double down on right now. Nintendo is not going to make a Star Fox game on that level anytime soon based on the failure of Star Fox Zero.
Yeah. God damn, what an atrocity.
Disney's Tsum Tsum Festival was announced. Up to 4 players can compete online or locally, exclusively on Switch in 2019.
Exclusive. Dropping them hot exclusives.
Rune Factory 4 Special and Rune Factory 5 are coming. So again, we were saying this during our live watch along that you can watch on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. That was somebody's Gatorade Get Hype moment. It wasn't mine, but like they showed 4 special and then they showed the 5 coming in. And you're like, okay.
Some dude was like, ah!
Yeah, and a lot of people tweeted at me saying, hey, I'm that person. So that's awesome. Deltarune is coming to Chapter 1 is free on Nintendo eShop beginning February 28th. The next game from the creator of Undertale that's been on PC for a while now. Final Fantasy VII got a release date of March 26th, and Final Fantasy IX got a release date of yesterday. There's like, boom, here it is. Also, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon Everybody comes on March 20th. Dead by Daylight is coming to the Switch this fall. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered coming on May 21st.
God damn it. Why?
Really weird.
This is one of the worst Assassin's Creed games.
Unravel 2 coming to the Switch on March 22nd, and Grid Autosport coming this summer. Whole bunch of stuff. Huge, jam-packed direct.
Yeah.
And it was great. They did a really good job.
Assassin's Creed 3 Remake coming with Assassin's Creed Liberation, the hit PS Vita title.
On Switch as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I missed that.
I think that they're coming together in a package.
Attention. Let's see. Next story, DICE Awards. Here's a full list of winners. The game of the year, God of War.
Can't argue.
Hell yeah. Greg Miller hosted the shit out of that yesterday. You can check it out on YouTube now. Outstanding achievement in animation goes to Marvel's Spider-Man. Fantastic.
Makes sense.
Outstanding achievement in art direction goes to God of War. Outstanding achievement in character goes to God of War for Kratos.
Jesus.
Outstanding achievement in original music composition goes to God of War. Outstanding achievement in sound design goes to God of War. Outstanding achievement in story goes to
God of War.
God of War. Outstanding technical achievement goes to Red Dead Redemption 2, the only award it won.
That's surprising.
Action game of the year goes to Celeste. Adventure game of the year goes to God of War. Family game of the year goes to Unravel 2. Now coming to the Nintendo Switch. Fighting game of the year goes to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Racing game of the year goes to Forza Horizon 4. Role-playing game of the year goes to Monster Hunter World.
I mean, it makes sense too. I mean, I'd say if I thought big JRPG from 2018, it's Monster Hunter
So,
World.
role-playing game of the year beat out Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age, minus the S or the Definitive Edition.
Minus.
And Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Interesting. I mean, out of all those games, that is the one that caught fire the most, right? That's the one that you saw everybody playing. I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I guess a lot of people are like,
for
it's not an RPG.
Yeah.
Sports game of the year, Mario Tennis Aces.
That's what I'm talking about.
Strategy simulation game of the year, Into the Breach. Immersive reality technical achievement goes to Tonandi. Don't know what that is.
Shout
but
out.
check it out.
Shout out.
Tonaa. Sorry, Tonandi. ANDI. Immersive reality game of the year goes to Beat Saber. Hell yeah, baby. Outstanding achievement for an independent game goes to Celeste. Hell yeah. Portable game of the year goes to Florence. Hell yeah. Outstanding achievement in online gameplay goes to Fortnite. Outstanding achievement in game design goes to God of War. Outstanding achievement in game direction goes to God of War.
God damn, they cleaned up.
Everyone was joking that Corey
Barlog.
Barlog could have just had a seat on the stage the entire time, and it probably would have made things
Stand
easier.
up every time, do a little
So
bit, sit
cool,
down.
so great. Congratulations to all those winners. What a great list of games. Fantastic.
The VR
year.
one throws me off. I think Astrobot should have gotten that
Over
one.
Beat Saber.
Yeah, I mean,
So dumb.
call me crazy.
Stupid.
Call me crazy.
I'm
It's a
calling you all
great
the
game.
things.
It's a more complete game. Beat Saber is a fun game, but I feel like what Astrobot did pushed the bounds of VR more than what Beat Saber did.
Astrobot's cool.
That's just me
but
personally.
I need to play
Astrobot's
Astrobot.
cool, but I
still
can't
haven't.
put down Beat Saber.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I'm sure that
I
I
think
would.
that'd be right up your alley.
I'm sure I would, but Beat Saber. Next up, this is a weird one that wasn't in the Nintendo Direct, but totally should have been. Hollow Knight is getting a full sequel. This comes from Jason Schreier at Kotaku. What was once downloadable content has morphed into a completely new sequel. Earlier this morning, Australian indie developer Team Cherry announced Hollow Knight Silk Song, and it sure looks fantastic. Previously promised as DLC for the spectacular action platforming game Hollow Knight, thanks to a Kickstarter stretch goal, Silk Song stars Hornet, the spear-wielding heroine and occasional antagonist from the original. There's no word on a launch date yet, but the developers say it's set in an entirely new kingdom with many new enemies, bosses, towns, quests, and so on. It'll launch on PC, Mac, Linux, and Switch first, with Xbox One and PC versions to follow. Team Cherry says, almost from the very start, Hornet's adventure was intended to take place in a new land, but as we dove in, it quickly became too large and too unique to stay a DLC as initially planned. We do know that makes the wait a little longer, but we think the final fresh world you'll get to explore in is worth it. There's a trailer and a 20-minute dev diary if you want to check those out. Do you play Hollow Knight?
I've played the first one. I dabbled in it. Didn't play it all the way through. Caught my attention. It's a fun complete game, but it didn't sink its hooks in me to stay playing.
I think it's a really wise call to make this a full sequel, especially given the critical acclaim that the first game got. I think that when single-player indie titles like this put out DLC campaigns over and over, they start to not be looked at as valuable. I think Shovel Knight's a great example. While it was a different time, and it's amazing that they did what they did with the Plague Knight and assume King Knight. Where the hell is that?
Yeah.
With the different campaigns, and they were awesome, and they really were full games. I feel like if they had marketed those as
new
sequels,
games,
or like maybe not even sequels, but just different titles in the universe, I think that they would have found much more success and gotten much more coverage.
I agree.
Than
Just another
they ended
DLC,
up getting,
right?
and I think that they're making Team Cherry's making a really wise decision here.
So they announced the DLC, and then they just came out and they were like, "Okay, this
Now
is a
it's a
completely new
sequel.
game." Okay,
Yeah.
because it's weird to me with how successful Hollow Knight was. Why not hype that up a little bit more? But it makes sense if they announced
Because it was a
DLC.
Kickstarter
Yeah.
thing that if we do this, we'll do the DLC. Now our last two stories, reviews are in. It's the big February 22nd day coming up, where all the games coming out and everything's going down. Crackdown 3 reviews are in, ladies and gentlemen. A Metacritic of, drum roll please, 62.
Ooh, hot doggy.
EGM gave it a 7. Destructoid gave it a 6. GameSpot gave it a 5. IGN gave it a 5. We will have a party mode of it going up later today.
We're
at some
attempting
point.
to upload it right now.
We're attempting to upload it right now. We're having some technical difficulties. So stay tuned to that.
Difficulties?
Now-
Way.
huh?
Nothing.
How do you say it?
Now here's the thing. All right, this is definitely a Tim was right moment that I need to take some
Didn't you
credit
make a
for.
bet?
I did make a bet, and my bet was I can't remember,
It was 70.
I can't remember
no
what I
higher
said,
than
but I was
70.
right.
but I think my bet was it will not receive a single 9 or above from anybody that like really matters of the big dogs reviewing games. I don't remember where I made that bet. I know it was against Andrea Renee. I need someone out there to help me. It might have been in the Xbox.
Post it and you're wrong.
Oh shit! Is she ordering us pizzas right now? I don't know.
I don't even. So here's the
I don't
thing.
know.
I don't know what the bet was for, but I think it might have been during the Xbox conference that happened. But it might not have. It must have been. Maybe it was either that or a Games Daily or whatever. I'm sure someone out there remembers. Someone made a note somewhere. Please tweet at me. Let me know the link. Where did I bet this and what did I bet? Because I need to cash in.
The important thing is you were right.
That is the important
And you
thing.
won.
The sad thing is,
At what cost?
I was right. I do like this is not good news. I wish that it was more well received, and I wish that it was better. It seems like so.
I think we all saw this coming, though.
Oh yeah,
Like,
not some people.
I mean, if you really expected more of this, I mean, it was written all over. I mean, that's like Dev 101, like Dev Hell 101, like having delay after delay, the game completely changing from like it was, and then like trying to rebrand itself. I mean, this is kind of where I expected it to fall. Have you played it at all?
Yeah, we played the party mode.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how do you feel about it?
It's not good.
Okay.
Guys. It's really, really, really not good.
Yeah,
it reminds me of, this is such a specific thing, but there's going to be about 10 people out there that know exactly what I'm talking about.
know what the fuck's up.
It reminds me of the Charlie's Angels game that I rented on the GameCube.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That is really specific.
Take that for what it's worth. Other reviews, Far Cry New Dawn reviews are in. Drum roll, please. Metacritic of 73. Doing better. This kind of, not much, but like I feel like actually way better. 62 to 73. IGN given a 7.5. EGM is 6. GameSpot is 6. Destructo an 80. It's a bit more all over the place in that spectrum, and I think that makes a lot of sense for the type of game that this is. We also recorded a party mode for this one. I think it's going up in 2 weeks though, so stay tuned. Is Nick a crazy person in it? Yeah, he is.
As expected. No, again, both of them, I feel like they fell exactly where I thought.
We kind of knew where they would go. The bigger question to me is Rage 2. Where does that fall compared to Far Cry New Dawn, compared to all these different things? But we need to wait so long to find out what review scores Rage 2 will get. If I wanted to know what games are coming to stores today, Cheeks, where would I look?
You would look at the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah.
Step off.
Out today, not much. Code Realize Wintertide Miracles on PS4 and Vita. Civilization 6 Gathering Storm expansion on PC. And Ollie Ollie Switch Stands on Switch. Great name. Fantastic name for that. That's it. Some new dates for you. Catherine Full Body, the remake, will be released in the Americas and Europe on September 3rd for PlayStation 4. It's time for reader mail, but before we get to that, let me tell you, this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily is brought to you by Hims. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. The thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. That's why you should be like Nick and Andy and go to 4hims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. These are well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. These are prescription solutions backed by science. No waiting rooms, no awkward in-person doctor visits. Save hours by going to 4hims.com. Andy and Nick did it. They went online, talked to a doctor, sent in some photos, and got matched with the prescriptions to help fight their thinning hair. Order now. Listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to 4hims.com/gamesdaily. That's FORHIMS.com/gamesdaily. There you go.
Gotta get that for Hims.
Gotta get that for Hims.
Hims.
CP writes in and says, "Hi, Tim and Cheeks. Do you think Epic will ever release their own console? Epic seems to be making money hand over fist at the moment. Is it mad to imagine they might release their own Fortnite box, especially with the Epic Store becoming more popular?"
Fortnite box. I don't like the wording of that. No. I mean, we've seen Steam attempt it. If Steam couldn't attempt it, you really think Epic could? I mean, yeah, I just feel like that's taking on way too much. I think you make way more money off software than you do hardware. So why just keep going on the way that you're doing? You're already taking Steam head on. Why would you try to get into the hardware game and take on like a Sony or a PlayStation or a Xbox or a PlayStation?
Absolutely. My short answer is no, for all the reasons that you just said. My long answer is maybe, and here's why. Fortnite. Why?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
My long answer is maybe, and here's why. It's not Steam where there's a whole bunch of games they need to focus on. Will Epic make their own console for Epic Games? No. Will they make hardware that just plays Fortnite? I could see them doing that. Imagine that being in brick and mortar stores. Imagine how much kids would want that, right? They know that they can make money there, even though they're already making money off software because that thing is everywhere. It wouldn't need crazy hardware to be able to run the thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them come out with some type of low grade hardware entry that's not a console in the traditional sense, that is something that's a bit more like the SNES Classic or that type of thing, that is just, it's your Fortnite box, literally.
That's insane. I mean, I see it for, like, I could see Epic being crazy enough to do something like that. What a way to charge people for a free game, you know?
Yeah, and that's it. It's the more ways that they can figure out how to get people to pay for what they're already giving away for free, there's at least a possibility that they'll do it. I don't think they're going to, but I do think that it'd be foolish to think that they're not going to try to monetize.
Well, and Fortnite collectibles is such a big thing right now. So, like, I could totally see, like, you make that packaging look nice. People are just going to buy it just to have it.
ArvelCynd writes in and says, "Dear Tim and Cheeks Jr., yesterday, Nintendo showed Link's Awakening during their direct presentation. After Pokemon Let's Go, which was a remake of Pokemon Yellow, this is the second major remake of a former Game Boy game. Remember, Samus Returns. Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS.
Never forget.
Do you think this is the beginning of a strategy for Nintendo to do HD remakes for old Game Boy games instead of Wii U remakes? Which Game Boy games would you like to see as an HD version?" For number one, it's not instead of Wii U. They're just running out of Wii U things to port. At this point, there's less than a handful. Pikmin 3, Wonderful 101, Mario 3D World. Now that they've announced Mario Maker 2, we don't need that. And the Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem game. That's 4. I don't think I'm missing anything.
4.
That's it. You know what I mean? Star Fox Zero, nobody wants that.
And it makes sense to get them all over there. Like, nobody played them.
Yep.
So.
Now, number 2, which Game Boy games would you like to see as an HD version? Honestly, the Game Boy is one of my least favorite libraries of games, especially for the amount of games on it. I feel like a lot of them are very nostalgic, but a lot of them don't age well or have successors that are just vastly superior. Of course, there's a couple exceptions to that. I do feel like there are good Mario Land games. There are good Zelda games. Obviously, all of the Zelda games are great. Seeing Link's Awakening, of course, tickles my fancy, making me believe in Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. That'd be great. So those would definitely be my 2, especially if they made it one game. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like Game Boy proper, I was never a big Game Boy fan. I mean, Game Boy Advance, another story. We got like, it would be cool to start seeing some of those titles come back. But even on them, I didn't play like your traditional like Game Boy games. I played like Crash Bandicoot games and the Rugrats Game Boy SP game, you know? So
you're talking about GBA.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. But I mean, just looking at the best Game Boy games of all time, just Googling it, like Tetris is the most iconic Game Boy game.
We got it.
Oh, God.
But
we got it. It's
we
here.
got it, right?
What's up, dog?
And then there's Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2. Super Mario Land 2, I have a very, very special place in my heart for. And it is great. I'd love to see that remade in some way. Mario Land 1, less so. But I feel like a remake might be able to improve some of the things that I didn't like. I don't see them doing that, though.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you're going to do a Mario Land game, just do a new Mario Land game. I feel like at that point.
Pokemon, we just got Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. Kirby's Dream Land, that's been remade on GBA. Like, that's been remade multiple times, I think.
On everything.
Yeah, there's the Wario Land game, but I don't see them doing that. And then, a lot of the Game Boy games that you remember playing Game Boy for, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario. It's like they're games that we have new versions of.
We got great new versions of them. Why? See, that's the thing. Nintendo properties, I don't feel like a lot of them license themselves for a remake because they're so good at building on what they've already been doing. So we already have the better versions of where they. I
feel like the more interesting thing would be like Mario Galaxy on the Wii.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking at a list right now from Nintendo Life.
Shout out.
Alex only wrote this list. The 26 best Nintendo Game Boy games of all time. Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. Great game, but I don't see them remaking that. Kirby's Dream Land, they've already remade it before. Kirby or Donkey Kong Land 2. In my opinion, the Donkey Kong Land games are fine. They're not good.
Yep.
Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. It's like
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure. Like, this is where we're getting at with Game Boy, man. I'm sure I'm pissing off Jared Petty somewhere.
Yeah, I know. Angry,
R.I.P., bro.
shaking his fist.
Tiny Toons, Bab's Big Break. It's like these
I
are
wanna see
great
that one.
games.
I wanna see that
They're great
one.
games. We're not going to see them remade though. Although they remade DuckTales on the internet.
That's true.
NES. So
Anything's possible.
Anything is
Honestly,
possible.
anything's possible at this point.
we're getting Crash Team Racing.
We got
baby.
Crash Team Racing, and then we got a Tetris Battle Royale. Everything's off the fucking table.
Batman the video game, Gargoyle's Quest, Mario's Picross. We already have Picross, Battletoads. Nobody prefers the Game Boy version. Mario Land.
Somebody
2,
out there
64
does. Someone's fucking
Tetris,
juiced.
Metroid 2, Pokemon Red and Blue, Link's Awakening. So the top 3 are already remade. So yeah, we'll see. Let us know. I'm interested in the comments below. What Game Boy games would you want to see remade that have any actual shot at getting a remake?
Drop them.
Toadette writes in and says, I was really excited by yesterday's news of full co-op coming to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Is this the perfect excuse to finally get it, seeing as it's Valentine's Day, or do you think it's an option aimed at young children that'll ruin the game for 2 adult gamers? I think it's a fantastic game, and if you haven't played it yet, I think now is a great time to get it, especially with the free updates and stuff. It really depends on you and your partner's gaming skill level and what you're going into.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's a thing aimed at kids. It's a puzzle game. Adding co-op makes that more difficult in a lot of ways because you need to coordinate and try to get people to do the same thing, especially when you're working with one camera for a game like Captain Toad that is so optical illusion based.
Yeah.
Me and Gia had a great time playing it, and like but we weren't doing the co-op. She was just kind of like watching me play and like telling me what to do and stuff. So I do think it's definitely a great game. You should totally play it if you haven't already.
It seems like it would lend itself really well to that 2-player co-op, like with a significant other, like just fun game time. It is going to be interesting to see how the co-op plays into it because it wasn't originally optimized for that.
Yeah. It's time to squad up, ladies and gentlemen.
Squad up.
Alex Russ writes in. He's on PSN. His name is _Syndicate. I'm looking for the kind of funny best friends that think they have what it takes to take me on in Dragon Ball Fighters or Under Night in Birth and other fighting games. What the fuck is Under Night in Birth? That's crazy shit. I can't be the only best friend out there with a burn to fight, and I want to improve with fellow best friends to prepare myself for future tournaments, including Naptown Clutch, Combo Breaker, and Community Effort Orlando. If you want to grow and improve in fighting games, be sure to add me. If you're going to any of these events, let's link up, practice up, and push each other to be better than we were yesterday. This is a great squad up. You can even message me on Twitter @ZeroSyndicate, and we can throw down in no time. So what say you? Let's get this kind of funny fight club going. Kev, please bring this up.
Club.
This is, in fact, Under Night in Birth.
Interesting.
Love the art style.
I
get. Is this made by the people that did? It must be BlazBlue and Guilty Gear.
Is it Blaz?
Blaze?
I never
Blue
really.
Eyes? I don't ask questions, man. I just say
Tomato,
things
tomato,
ignorantly.
you know what I mean?
It's time for your wrong. Let's see what we got wrong today. I was talking a lot of shit, so
right.
We'll see.
Gotta talk some shit sometimes.
Oh man, I hate seeing this.
What?
It's a big list. Big old.
Maybe it's a lot of
list.
opinions, though. You know.
Downey Downderson says Tim said Joker releases in Smash before April, but in the direct they said before the end of April. I'm sorry, that was a
You dumb ass piece.
speaking mistake on my part. A lot of people saying I am Setsuna. Thank you for that.
It was good.
That's good.
Yeah. The nanobiologist says the Shovel Knight King Knight DLC will release on April 9th, 2019, along with Shovel Knight Showdown. Oh, that's awesome. I did not realize it got a release date. Shovel Knight Showdown is going to be an excellent party mode.
Can't wait, dude.
When are we going to get Shovel Knight 2?
Nanobiologist says the missed news item Jump Force Metacritic is in with a 64 on PS4 and a 63 on Xbox One.
Interesting game. Couldn't get down with it.
Somebody got me the link to the bet. Thank you very much. I'm going to check that out later and clip it out
Click
and
it,
rub
you
it in
coward.
someone's face.
Click it.
The nanobiologist says Kirby's Dream Land was not remade but re-released on 3DS on the Virtual Console. That is correct. I was wrong. Kirby's Adventure was remade on the Game Boy Advance.
So many fucking
I
Kirby
want to
games.
say. Did you know that Kirby's first game was in fact Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy and not Kirby's Adventure on the Nintendo?
I did not know that.
Kirby's Adventure, one of the last NES games to ever come out. Mind-blowing shit. Wii U games still to get ported include Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is what I was talking about, the Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem game, Xenoblade Chronicles X. I can imagine that coming at some point, and the Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD. You gotta imagine we're getting those at some point.
Yeah,
too.
you have to. At this point.
Nanobiology says BlazBlue is pronounced as Blaze Blue.
Shout out.
All right. Love you guys. This was an excellent show. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you?
People can find me over at Cheeks_Junior on Twitter. You can follow the content I do over at youtube.com/chiptoothgaming. We got merch. We have a show called Completely Consensual, video game centric show. We launched a new show called Old's Games Old, video game retrospective podcast by Noah and Eli Shaw. So we're doing some things over there. So
Awesome,
go check it out.
Go check him out. He's a good
check
dude.
it out.
Appreciate him a lot. You might remember him from Kind of Funny Live 3, where you beat me in Crash Bandicoot.
And it's going to happen again.
Tomorrow, it's me and the return of Greg Miller.
Oh my God, he's back!
Straight out of Dice. But until then, I love you.
Not straight out of Dice, though.
What do you mean?
Shake hands.